Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Colie's Corner. I'm glad to be back and making videos. Let me just go ahead and say that it's been a real busy last couple of months. Just being a nurse, and I just wanted to take this time that I'm off to go ahead and make a video and just kind of update you on all things nursing and everything that's been going on, especially since I am almost finished with my residency. I have like 2 more weeks left, so I wanted to take this opportunity as well to go ahead and talk about like what you can expect from a residency, based off at least my experience, and even the like application process and all that I went through with several different residencies in my area, and maybe what you can expect from that as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So my residency has been, we're in week 10 now, and I go back to work tomorrow night. That would be Saturday, October something. I don't remember what the days are. My days are all kind of crazy right now because I'm still getting used to trying to sleep in the day. So I take like long naps instead of like a full 6 or 7 hour sleep. But going into week 10, and I've learned a lot. I've done a lot. I'm pretty much on my own at this point. I'm taking about 4 patients usually. Tomorrow when I go to work, I'll probably take 5 patients, and I'll be taking 4 to 5 for the rest of the residency. And then when I get by myself, it's a lot of big things going on at the hospital that I'm at. We're transitioning from McKesson charting system to Cerner One chart, which is the new system that's coming October 27th to my organization. So learning that, and still, figuring out some stuff here and there about McKesson, and just getting comfortable with more and more charting every shift. And the biggest thing was transitioning to night shift. It's been pretty hard the last couple of weeks because I wasn't expecting to go to night shift this early. I wasn't expecting to go to night shift until maybe mid-November or even December. But they switched it to night shift a lot earlier because the need was on night shift. So that's why we're there. And y'all, nursing has really kept me busy because not only am I working on the unit 2 to 3 days a week, we have class, we have little mini quizzes, we have different trainings and things that we have to do. So it's a lot of stuff going on that's built into the residency program at my hospital outside of just being a nurse. It's a lot of other things that we get to do. Fun fact, I got to see a craniotomy done a couple weeks ago, like drill holes into the skull, remove a piece, and remove a brain tumor. That was pretty cool. It was like a 14 or 15 hour long surgery. I only stayed for like 12 hours of it, but it was very cool looking, kind of gross at some points, but it's cool to really see a neurosurgeon at work. So that was a little fun fact, something that I got to witness since I started the residency. And let's just talk about what you can expect from your residency. Most residency programs are going to be anywhere from 12 to 16 weeks, and they may require you, after you've completed your initial orientation, to stay for a year or sign a year contract or a 2-year contract. Fortunately, my hospital does not bind us to a contract. So with that being said, after my 12 weeks are over, if I decided that I didn't want to work at my hospital, I could leave. I will not, because they've treated me so well as a new nurse. I've been supported, I've been motivated, and I've learned a lot. So I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. And because we don't have that contract, it actually makes me want to stay because I feel like I'm not bound to stay at the hospital. And they give us a lot of incentives to stay too. Like after we finish, we get our first pay increase, and then we get a pay increase every 6 months for the next 2 years as new nurses under our residency. Plus, any training that you can think of under the sun, you get it included. You don't have to pay. So if you want to go get ACLS or EKG certified or PALS, anything like that, you can go get those things done. And for those of you who don't know what ACLS or PALS is, that's advanced cardiac life support, and then PLS is pediatric advanced life support, and then EKGs are just heart monitoring. So electrocardiogram, EKGs. So you can, get certified for those different things, especially if you do a lot of those on your unit, which on mine, we do a lot. So what else can you expect? So 12 to 16 weeks, and then possibly a year or two after. My job personally makes it very easy to transfer. So if you've completed your residency and you really just absolutely hate where you are, we have what are called draft days. And so with our draft days, you can leave. You don't have to tell your manager. They don't have to sign off. You can just put in a transfer request, interview with that area, and the chance of you getting it are very, very high. A lot of nurses from my unit did the draft day and are now leaving. And I actually plan on doing draft day when I get the opportunity so that I can possibly go to the ED. But if I don't get it, it's okay, because I really do like my unit. But I love the ED, which is the emergency department. So that's something. And I don't know if other hospital systems have this in the area. I'm in the Atlanta area. I don't know if like Emory, Wellstar, Grady, I don't know if they have anything like that. But I would be sure to think that it would be pretty easy to transfer between hospital to hospital if you have multiple in the hospital organization or from unit to unit, because they want nurses to stay with that organization. They don't really want people to leave or have to hire new people. So that's something to keep in mind too. So when you are applying for a residency program, it can be a little overwhelming, because knowing when to apply, you're still going to be in nursing school when you apply for these residency programs, okay? So what does that mean? If you graduate in May of 2020, okay, you would need to apply, start putting in applications in November, December of 2019, because you are definitely going to be interviewing for those positions February of that semester. So for like Emory, Wellstar, Northside, their applications, Piedmont, their applications were all available in December, and they had a deadline of like January 1st. So you definitely want to get those applications in. And then once your application has been submitted, you may be called for an interview. Some hospitals, one hospital in the area, Emory is a big organization. They do one big interview day, and people are hired same day. People are hired over the next 2 weeks for different areas at different campuses. Northside's is a little different. They actually have a separate application for each area. So if you are applying for acute care med-surg, that's one residency. If you're applying for ICU, that's a different application. If you're applying for the ED, that's a different application. So you may have to fill out 3 different applications for the same hospital, because they're different residencies. Whereas Emory, it's one application, and you choose which areas from 1 to 5 that you're interested in, and then they'll send you a time where you can select an interview day for their interview days, because they may have like 3 or 4 big interview days where all the managers from the different areas are there and you can interview. It's the same for Wellstar. You submit one application, and then they reach out to you, and different areas come to your interview, and they'll say, ask you different questions and things like that, and then they'll call you later. A lot of places you interview, you're getting a phone call same day if they're giving you the job. Northside called me a couple of hours after I interviewed. Wellstar called me the following Monday that I interviewed to offer me a job as well. So it just depends. And I also want to tell you guys, don't expect to get certain areas because of where you precepted. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. I precepted in the emergency department, had 170 hours in the ED, couldn't get a job in the ED. And sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes it's not even that you weren't good enough. It's that, they already had people that wanted to transfer. And so they transferred into the ED, they don't need a new nurse because they already have people. Same thing for the ICU and for labor and delivery. Those are like the hot zones of the hospital. Everybody wants to be there, especially fresh out of nursing school. It doesn't always happen. And I will tell you guys that, I had a very negative attitude about it because I was like, I did preceptorship in the ED and I deserve to be in the emergency department. I really want to be there. But my attitude changed when I got to my neuroscience floor because I really learned a lot. The people were really nice. My manager is great, and I was very supported throughout my residency, and I still am supported as a new nurse. So I really appreciate going there and learning med-surg because it will really help you wherever you go in the hospital. I feel like I'm very prepared to go to the ED when I eventually transfer because I learned a lot on the med-surg floor. It's just things that, you don't necessarily get to experience for a while in the ED, getting to see that. Like, you may not deal with PEG tubes a lot in the ED, but when one comes in, because you have that med-surg experience, you're going to be able to know how to function this, with this PEG tube, or how to clean this central line, or how to change this dressing, all this kind of stuff, okay? Which may mean nothing to you now, but, learning it on the med-surg floor is very important because you never know who you're going to see, who's going to come through those doors in the ED or in the ICU or even in labor and delivery. So, if you don't get where you want, don't be upset about that because, take it as it's just not your time to be there. Okay. And I made some really good nursing buddies. Make some good nursing buddies. That is another tip that I have. Okay. But that's pretty much all I have for residencies. If y'all have any questions, reach out to me, but, I really have enjoyed my residency. I feel like I picked a really great hospital. I'm so glad. And y'all, we get to wear t-shirts with our scrubs. Awesome. As long as it's a Northside t-shirt, you can wear a t-shirt with your scrub pants. And I love that because I don't like wearing scrub tops all the time. And I get tired of wearing navy blue. So it's kind of nice to get to come to work with a pink Northside shirt on or a purple Northside shirt on with your pants. It allows you to kind of spice it up a little bit. But yeah, I may do a part 2 residency video once I'm finished and just do a very detailed description of how to apply, what to put on your resume, things like that. But you know what? Let's do it now because I think that's the only thing that I missed was what to put on a resume. Beef up your resume, okay? If you are a BLS, basic lifesaver instructor, CPR first aid instructor, put that on your resume because that's going to make you stand out because the hospital can use that to their advantage. Did you lifeguard for 5 years like I did before you were a nurse? Put that on your residency. It shows that you have emergency skills and you have critical thinking skills already, okay? Put where you precepted. If you precepted in labor and delivery, put that on your application, especially if that's somewhere that you really want to be after graduation, because they may look and say, hey, this person did precept. There might be a little less that we have to teach them. So we'll go ahead and pull their application. It doesn't guarantee it, but it may make you stand out a little bit. Were you involved in any nursing organizations? Put that on your resume because it shows that you went above and beyond, that you didn't just go to nursing school and go home. You did nursing school and you also participate in nursing extern things. Were you a tech? Did you work in the hospital at all while you were in nursing school? Put that on your resume and show up with some letters of recommendation. Do not show up with just your resume. Show up with a resume and say, hey, I also have attached a cover letter and a letter of recommendation from my preceptor or a letter of recommendation from one of my teachers at school. They'll say, okay, thank you. Whether or not they read it, who cares? But you brought one and you came prepared, okay? So yeah, now I'm done for real. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll respond or whatever. And hey, it's been real. Colie's Corner. I'm glad to be back. Hoping to put more videos up, once and twice a week again. And it's been real, y'all. Peace.